What's going on, Saastronauts? This is June from Saastronautics, and we have Alex here from Unlim Photos to introduce the platform and to learn a little bit more about why and how he started his journey of Unlim Photos. Hi, Alex. Thanks for joining us on the call.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
We want to learn more about the founders behind all the tools that we bring. It's something that our audience is curious about, and also myself as a buyer of a lot of different SaaS tools. I'm also curious, and it's one of the first things I do when I look into the SaaS. Right, I look into the story behind it, the founders and the creators behind it. So let's get right into it, Alex. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? I guess that's too
Sure.
generic of a question. A little bit about yourself and how you came about building this gigantic library.
Yeah, sure. So I'm originally from Canada. I live in Southeast Asia now. My background is actually affiliate marketing.
Oh, nice.
So with affiliate marketing, you use a lot of stock images, and a lot of times there's a lot of eyeballs on those stock images. And if you're not using like a legally sourced image, you can get a lot of trouble from people claiming that you're using their face in an image for advertising, which you're not allowed to do. All the way to compliance. Like if you're promoting something, the company who you're promoting, they want to know like what are you using to promote them? Oh, you're using this image. Well, where did it come from? Because we don't want to get sued for that either. So it's kind of important that you're using like legally sourced images. So that's kind of my background, how I came into this. Me and my partner originally acquired an image library from a Norwegian company. At that time, it was about 10 million images. They weren't really working on it or growing it because the sales model they were doing, I think it was just a little too expensive and people didn't really understand it. They wanted to be a Netflix of images, which it just doesn't really make sense. So with Unlim Photos, it's unlimited downloads. It's something that's already popular with some vector websites. And there's not really too many image websites who are doing unlimited photos.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why we came up with Unlim Photos.
Awesome. Well, you've already outlined some of the awesome USPs about Unlim Photos, but do you have anything else to add? So let me add to that first. There's a lot of stock images, image libraries out there, some of them being free and a lot of them paid, of course. So why would someone choose Unlim Photos over some of the other premium stock image libraries that cost per download, or even compared to something like Unsplash, where it's a free stock image library?
Right. Okay. So with the free stock libraries, you have limited content. There's about 1 to 2 million images on all these free sites. So I think if you're just starting out and you don't actually have a business and it doesn't make money, like use the free sites. I think it's a good idea because there's enough content for you there to start with. But once you have a business that's making money and your needs grow, you're going to need more images. You're going to need to test more things. You're going to need higher quality images or maybe stranger looking images that stand out, get higher click-through rates. So there's a lot of demand for images. And if you look on the forums from the other side of this, like you're the photographer, who should I give my images to? Where do I upload them? People will talk about the free sites, and a lot of them say, well, someone took my image from Unsplash, then they put a filter over it, and they uploaded it to Adobe stock.
Oh, no.
Now they sell it there. So they really don't like contributing to these free sites. So these free sites are never going to grow bigger than the paid ones.
Yeah.
What I can say is the price of the paid ones is a little bit. Nobody wants to pay like $1, $2 per image because like you can take images on your smartphone. It's just not worth that much.
Yeah.
So I think at a fair price, a low price with a large image library, I think it's a good value for people to pay a little bit for images, not $1, $2, $100 a month for images, but I think there's a lot of value in paying for quality images.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And actually, you mentioned, if you're just starting your business. So when I first started my business, I also used the free stock images. So Unsplash, Pexels, all of them, I've used it. And I now pay for a lot of paid libraries as well, not just one. And, the reason being the same reasons that you've outlined, right? One, I see the same.
Yeah.
Of course, they have around 2 million. So I'm never going to see all 2 million of them, but there's always a handful of those images that really stand out, and you see them everywhere. You see them on the sites and the blogs, and you can find out about them right away. The
Especially
other,
if your business is in a specific niche,
yeah,
like whatever your niche is, if it has to do with pets or something, like it really narrows down
yeah.
the
There's
images you
always,
choose from.
yeah. And the other,
Yeah.
one more aspect of it that, to be honest, I've never thought of, even now while preparing for Unlim Photos launch, was the contributor aspect of things, right? Because
Yeah.
as the end user or as the customer, I only care about the images and where to get them for free or for paid, but I never
Yeah.
realized the work and the people behind all of these images. So that's an aspect that is very cool that you brought up, and brings me to my next question. Also, actually, is how many contributors are on Unlim Photos, and do you plan to increase? So how do people sign up? So if I'm a photographer and I'm not interested in stock photos, but I do want to make some money on the side, how would I sign up to be a contributor on Unlim Photos?
Okay, so the images right now are coming from another one of our stock libraries, which is it's the same thing but higher priced.
Mhm.
So that's where the contributors are signing up right now. On UnlimPhotos, we'll put a footer link at the bottom of it to become a contributor where you can sign up.
Mhm.
So that's how you can sign up. Was there more to that question or?
Um, yeah. Oh, the other
or
part was okay. So, will you continue to increase the contributors, or are you actively promoting? Hey, join us and contribute and make money, or yeah. And the other question, in addition to that, was how many images are coming in, or how many new images are coming into your library every let's say every month on average?
Yeah. Okay. So regarding getting new contributors on board, definitely. We want to get as many contributors, many people submitting photos because we're going to pay them 50% of the earnings on those photos. Um, so we just launched video. So we actually have on our other image agency, which is higher price. So we have people submitting video now, vectors, and then that kind of snowballs in the images because they'll say, oh, they have more interesting things I can do, like
Yeah, and they're going.
whatever. It could be WordPress themes or graphic motion elements. So when they see that, they say, okay, I'll upload my images too. So you can submit all that stuff, and we distribute it in different places, like Unlim Photos, and you can earn a commission on every sale. Or with Unlimited, it would be whatever the user downloads. So if they download one file and they paid $100, you would get like a $50 commission on that,
Mm-hmm.
50%. So if they download more files, the commission would go down, but generally that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as new images coming in, there was some like big news in the photographer industry about, I guess, 4 months ago, where Shutterstock, like they continue to devalue how much they give photographers. First it's like 40%, then it's 35, then it's 30. And now they put tiers into it where like, okay, well, if you don't make any money, like less than $100 or 100 sales, like you only get like a 10% commission or something. They keep lowering it like that, and that's the trend. So when that happened, we had literally thousands of people signing up to
Jump
be a
on board.
contributor on our,
Yeah, I
yeah,
bet.
because a few forums.
Mm.
So yeah, that's really exciting. As far as images, we get about 150,000 a month. But when there's a big spike like that, like we might get 500,000 in a month or
Wow.
something. So
Yeah, because I was gonna say, so I checked the site, and obviously I know a lot more about Unlim Photos over the last few weeks, and you have over 12 million photos, but you mentioned that you acquired it at when it was at 10 million. Is that correct? So you've added
yeah,
over 2 million
actually a little bit less.
less.
I
Okay.
think it was 9 million plus a million vectors. So I think there's been like 3 million more images, which is like 30% growth. So
Nice, nice. Okay, one more question actually about submissions. So contributors can join in and submit their photos, and you're getting, around 150,000 a month on average. What
yeah.
is there any? So a contributor submits a image and it goes straight up to your library, or is there any sort of vetting process that you go through? And can you share any details about that, or so how does it get approved to be on your library, to be live?
Okay, right. So when a contributor signs up, first of all, we want them to submit some of their work. So either they have a website, an Instagram, Shutterstock, or Adobe Stock, and there's images already on there. So we see that, we see their images, we like the quality. Um, with quality comes, there's a lot of different quality of images. You can get like high production quality images with people in it and in like an office with property and models, or you can get low quality image, which is like you're on your vacation and you took some photos of the city, and that's like a low quality editorial image that's not really worth that much. So you might see a lot of that on free sites too, because they don't really sell too well. So yeah, after they submit their portfolio, we approve them. You can upload images, and they go to our backend where you can upload the metadata or write metadata, description of the image, title, etc. If it's a vector, there's another way to do it. And then if it has a model in it, you have to upload a model release, which is a piece of paper that has the image of the model on it, where they live, phone number, etc. And like they signed it saying you can use my person in your commercial advertising. That's kind of how it works on the contributor end. Whereas I think with Unsplash, none of it's model released. If I look on their FAQ right now, it says photographers are required to have model releases on file, but we don't take them and organize them. So, yeah, we actually go through all these images, and if there's a face, like it needs to have a model release, or we would reject it. Or it's marked as editorial, which means you can't use it for advertising.
Okay. Oh wow,
No,
that's really interesting. Because I don't know much about stock images. I don't know much about photography or video or anything. So that's really insightful. So from what I understand about Unlim Photos, one of the major USPs, of course, number one, you mentioned earlier, unlimited, right? But the other things that I've noticed is, everything is royalty free and has commercial licensing. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. There would be two different categories: editorial and stock. So you can filter between that on the website, or if you can't, that's coming with the new sidebar filters like within the next couple of days. So editorial means that the image has copyrighted material in it. So if you take a photo of a copyrighted landmark, which I don't know, it could be like the Eiffel Tower or something, copyrighted landmark, or a person in it that doesn't have a model release, or let's just say you walk out on the street, you take a photo, there's a lot of people in it, you may be able to recognize some of their faces, there's some logos from other brands in it. That's editorial. You can't use that for advertising purposes or commercial means. So that's not technically an RF stock image. With a stock image, it means it's like you're going to see a clean image, there's not going to be any logos in it, recognizable logos. If there's people in it, they've signed paperwork saying you can use their face for commercial uses. So that's kind of where the line is drawn between editorial and stock.
Oh wow, okay, that actually clarifies it for me too, because I didn't know the details behind that. Thank you. I might have made some mistakes or something. There might be some websites out there that I've done that do not fit the criteria. So
yeah, if you do a celebrity image, for instance, that's you can't use it. It's marked as editorial. So.
Okay, all right.
But editorial, you can use newsworthy purposes. If you're writing a blog post about some gossip or news, you can actually use those images for that reason.
Okay. But anything else that wouldn't?
Yeah, if you're using it to promote a product or put on a T-shirt, like you shouldn't really be using it.
Careful, yeah.
Everything happens on the internet, so it's like people do it.
Yeah. Well, for those of you listening in that don't want to deal with the headaches, just know that Unlim Photos has royalty-free images and commercial licensing for everything, for the entire library. Okay, and I have two more questions. I have two more questions. One is, how is this relevant to the current digital marketing or digital markets trends? So how is Unlim Photos relevant to the current digital marketing trend?
Right. So it depends what kind of product or business you have, but anywhere you look, you need images. If you're running Facebook ads, Shutterstock's plugged right in there. Like you have to use images for that. If you're creating like Kindle books, like another great business, you need images for the book covers. If you're creating physical products, which can be like coloring books or something, a lot of things like that, you need images. So if you're doing blogs, if you have clients that need websites, you can't just deliver them a website with no creatives or images. Whether you use those images for like a background or like for blog posts, like You need images, and the ones on Unsplash are great to start with, but at some point you'll want a little bit more selection, variety, and quality. So as far as the trend, I guess the trend is assuming like free, everything's going down. Like there's a lot of free stuff. It's great, and I think there should be more. But there's also going to be a place always for higher quality paid images with more production quality. There's like expensive gear in the photos or locations that are just not easy for a solo photographer to take. A lot of the solo photographers are maybe traveling and take tourism pictures, that kind of thing. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think anyone watching or anyone part of the community or anyone doing digital work or work online is not using images. So yeah, but the thing is, out of the many libraries out there, I think Unlim Photos has a really great USP. And just that alone, the royalty-free commercial licensing, that alone saves me the headache. I don't have to look into it, right? And then I have one more question. This is my last question and I wanted to ask this to all the founders, but I kind of forgot it on a few of the past webinars, do you have any advice? So as a fellow founder or a creator, do you have any advice for any other or for all other founders and SaaS owners? So we have a lot coming on our webinars. We have a lot of deals getting out there, being launched. Do you have any specific advice for them?
As far as entrepreneurship goes?
Yeah, absolutely. Entrepreneurship, yeah.
Yeah, I would say with entrepreneurship, like don't follow the trend, don't do what everyone else is doing, don't be afraid to think differently, and like just pursue your own interests and ideas. Because if you hop on whatever you see, like people promoting courses about running like Amazon businesses, like everyone's already doing that. It's really competitive. You're gonna struggle. Like I would just think differently, do your own thing, and kind of pursue what you're interested in or you think you might be interested in.
Great advice, sound advice. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I've gone down that hole too, doing what everyone else does. But the competition is so high, and that obviously didn't work for me.
Yeah, it's easy to get stuck.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for today. And as you guys know, Unlim Photos is available right now on Saastronautics, so definitely check that out. We'll leave a comment. We'll leave a link in the comments, and we'll see you around. Alex, thank you for joining us, and we hope to have you on another webinar soon. And if anyone watching right now has any questions, leave them in the comments, and we'll get back to you soon. All right, guys, take care.
Thanks, June. Bye.
Bye-bye.